Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, we are doing our pin series that we do every month, but with a little bit of a twist. Hey guys, what's up? If you're new, my name is Brittany. In today's video, we are doing our typical pin series, but with a little bit of twist. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But first, I have a couple things to say. As you can see, we have some Halloween decor up because this is our first video in officially fall autumn time. Yay! I love fall and autumn time. It's my favorite time of year. So we are super spooky here, as you can see. And not only that, but today marks Wildlife Salt Life's 2-year anniversary on YouTube. Yay, yay, yay. I just wanted to say thank you. Liz isn't here, but I know she's just as grateful. We want to say thank you to everyone who's been following us along the way, subscribing and watching and commenting and liking and all of that stuff. We really appreciate it. We have met so many amazing people along this way. People that will be forever friends. So we are just so appreciative and grateful for that. So thank you to all of you. We love you guys so much and appreciate just all of you and your love and support. So anyways, let's hop into this video. So like I was saying, every month, if you're new, I do a pin series where I talk about some Disney movies that are celebrating their anniversaries, and I show you pins from my collection that are from those movies. What I decided to do, since there are no movies that came out in September, I thought that we would celebrate another anniversary, and that is my time living on Earth. So those who don't know, my birthday is in a few days, and I was trying to think about what I wanted to do for the pin series this month because I know a lot of people like seeing pins from our collection, and it hit me that I should show 28, because that's how old I'm turning, 28 of my absolute favorite pins that are in my collection. Some of them I just love the aesthetic of the pin, and some of them have some memories. So I thought I would just share them with you guys. So I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. If it's a long one, get you something to drink and eat, and let's go down memory lane together. So the very first pin, I know I've shown it recently, but it's very important, and so I wanted to show it again. A lot of these pins you guys have probably already seen before, so it's nothing special, but you might not know some of the meanings, so I wanted to share those. So the first one I am showing you, I know I've shown this recently, but it is my Oogie Boogie cereal pin. What makes this pin really special is my friends Jess and Nico over at Princess and the Sith and my friends Megan and Juliet over at the Pumpkin Queens, we were all talking about how badly we wanted this pin, and we were so nervous that none of us were going to get it because, you know, pin events on Disney are a little crazy. And we all managed to get it, and it was just such a roller coaster. It's a limited edition, and I love knowing that I share this exact pin with my two really good friends. So I will always remember this fun little adventure we went on, guys, and just knowing that we each have a little piece of it, and I just love it. This next pin is definitely one of my favorites just because, again, the memory. So this next pin is the Haunted Mansion Cruiser pin. I love it because, obviously, love Haunted Mansion. Spooky, everything, I love it. This was one of the very last pins that I ever got while I was in the park as an annual pass holder. For those that most of you know, we moved out of Florida in the beginning of this year. One of my last days, I was in the park and this pin came out and I was like, OMG, I need to have it. It's sad, but it's kind of a reminder, like, I'm going to be back at some point. I'm going to be on this dune buggy and I'm going to be living my best life. Next pin, again, this is not a pin that has a lot of like value or even really like aesthetically pleasing, but it's got a fun little story. So this pin is the New Mexico pin from the American Adventure set. What makes this pin so amazing, so I got this pin during my very first collab that I ever did on YouTube with Lost Girl in Tomorrowland. Shout out to you, girl. I hope you're doing well. She was my first collab that I ever did. I'll leave it up here. It's horrible quality. It's really dark and loud and it's just a bad video, but it was my first collab ever. But what also makes it special is that this pin, we were feeling the bags, and again, like, there's a lot of pins in this series. So I was feeling the bag and I was like, I don't know, New Mexico. And I guessed it right, which is crazy because there's a lot of square, you know, pins in states. So the fact that I guessed it was insane. And I will always remember guessing that right. Next pin is one from a little series that I absolutely adored when I first found it, when I first started pin trading. I never thought in a million years I would have even one of the pins from this set. And the fact that I have all of them is amazing. So I do love this pin, but I mean, I love the whole series. My Maleficent Haunted Mansion portrait. I love all of the portraits, but I decided to show my Maleficent one because I love Maleficent so much. Next pin I actually got almost a year ago now in October, and we went and we had no idea that it was actually Gay Days when we went. So we were very surprised because we went in October, had no idea that it was Gay Days. So as you can imagine, showing up to Gay Days and there was gay people everywhere and just so much love and pride in the air, it was even more of an amazing experience. So we had to pick up the Disneyland Pride pin. It is so cool and sparkly and just amazing. This next pin is not one of my favorite attractions, but is definitely one of my absolute favorite pins. And it is this Tower of Terror pin. You pull it out and there's Mickey and Minnie and Donald dressed up as the ghosts. So what makes this pin so special is that Liz and I, right around this time of year also actually, we celebrate our anniversary. We don't really have an anniversary date, but this is around the time when we first met. So we like to celebrate at the end of September, which is also my birthday. So we would always go to the parks and celebrate both my birthday and our anniversary. We were doing pin trading with a cast member and he was like, "Oh, is it your anniversary?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I have something special for people celebrating their anniversary." And he pulled out this pin and it was 100% free. Didn't have to make a separate trade. It was incredible and so kind, and we were like, what? This pin is free, not some like little hidden Mickey that's half the time like a fake, you know, whatever. This big, amazing, beautiful pin. Incredible. Next pin, there's kind of a story, but it's mostly, I love the aesthetic of this pin. So this pin in particular came from the Peter Pan map set that came out on their, I think the 65th, 65th anniversary. It was a map and each pin was a little puzzle piece to kind of, it wasn't a puzzle piece, but it helped make the whole map. It was also one of those pin series where two came in the box and one you could see and one you couldn't. So one of the pins that I really wanted, luckily, was one that you could see, and Liz happened to be going out to Disney and I was like, "Babe, can you know, maybe go pick something up for me?" And she did, and she got the pin that I wanted. I know these sold out in like 2 days, but I really wanted the mermaid pin from the Peter Pan map set. It is such a cute pin. For those that don't know, I love, love, love mermaids. They're like so horrible in the movie, but I just love them too because it's like they're such a mood. So I love this pin because it's, again, amazing and it's just a rare character, but also like my girlfriend's amazing for going and getting it for me. So this pin was really funny because it again is that attraction that I already talked about that is not my favorite. I know it's a lot of people's, but it's not my favorite. It is the Tower of Terror, and I had rode every single ride that was on Disney property in Florida except for the Tower of Terror. And Liz was like, "Look, like, you gotta ride it because you gotta say that you've ridden every single Disney ride. I'll buy you a pin." Sold. Okay. So I got my little terrified butt on that ride, got off it. I was trembling the whole time, but I bought a pin and I got this really cool one. It's gonna kind of be hard to show you, I think, but it's a pin on pin. So it's a really, really cool pin, but I will forever remember my first time riding Tower of Terror and hating it, and it's also my last time. So next pin is again another one that I know I've shown recently, but I have to show it because I love it that much. It is my NBC VHS tape pin. I love this one. The Park Pioneers, Andy and Joe. Thank you again, guys, so much. I wanted this pin so bad. So thank you again, guys, so much. I love this pin so much, and I will forever remember your amazing generosity. Next is a Halloween pin. We really wanted this set. I saw someone open it, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Boo from Monsters, Inc. I want that pin. Liz saw it and said, oh my gosh, I need that pin. So we were like really hoping to get her, and lo and behold, we got her. And I will never forget us screaming in the middle of Frontierland outside the pin store, and everyone was like, what is going on with these psychos? And we were like, we got Boo, we got Boo. It was interesting, but we got her. So every time I look at this pin, I will forever remember how insane that we got over this pin. Next pin is again one of my absolute favorites, and it is the Goofy movie I Heart Gaming, I think it is called. And it's really cool when you move it. It looks like they're dancing. So cool. We went to like 3 different parks and they were all saying sold out, and then all of a sudden we found a park, I think it was Magic Kingdom, and it had this pin. and I was about to cry because I thought there was no way I was gonna get it, but I did. So this pin is really special to me because I always wanted a pin Trader Delight, which we had already owned a couple before we got this one, but we had never gotten one from the store itself. So we drove from our house to Tampa, which is about 3 hours, got on the plane that was about like a 7-hour flight or so, landed in San Diego, got our car, and drove like 3 hours to LA and got this pin, and then drove another 2 hours back to our hotel. It was great. Very fun, busy day. So I will forever remember that day. And Liz drove the whole way. Can we just, I absolutely love it, and I will forever remember that crazy adventure just to get this pin. Next pin, again, there's not so much a story to this, but I just love it. And it is the Under the Sea pin of Ariel and Flounder. I love this pin. It's super cool. It moves and you see the shark in the background. Again, there's no story. I just really, really wanted this pin. Next is a pin I got a couple months ago, and it is my Dr. Facilier. Now, he's still my only villain that I have from the villain set, but I love it. It's really cool. It's very different. I feel like he doesn't get enough love. Never thought that I would own one, especially a real authentic one, and I do, and he's just super cool. Next pin I actually got around my birthday few years ago. I have a lot of pins from my birthday. So this pin actually came from a mystery set called Crooked Comrades. This was another one of those series that you could see one pin and not the other. And this is one I had no idea. And it is Joanna from The Rescuers Down Under. I love The Rescuers. I love The Rescuers Down Under specifically. That was one I actually watched more as a kid than The Rescuers. When I opened her, you guys don't know the scream that I produced. So I will forever remember opening her and losing my stuff. Just was like one of the best magical birthday moments ever. Next pin actually is the story behind it. I mean, I went on this crazy goose hunt for it, and it is the NBC Countdown pin. This is again another one that I was like, holy moly, I need it. It is a jumbo pin. And I didn't think that I was gonna be able to own it because they're a little bit more on the expensive side. I wanted it so bad, and I just was like, they're gonna sell out. I worked that day, so I was like, okay, babe, we're gonna have to fly. After work, I'm gonna pick you up. We're gonna go get it. We went, and they had 2 left, and I was like, Megan, girl, you want it? Because I got you. So I was able to get the very last 2, one for me and one for her, and I just love that. I will forever remember that little memory. Next pin, it's really, again, not so much of a story. I just love this pin, and it is this Lizzie McGuire pin. But Lizzie McGuire is really special in our household just because we both loved Lizzie McGuire growing up, and that was actually one of the first conversation topics we talked about when we first started talking and dating. Next pin is one of my absolute favorites because if you are new here, he is my like favorite character. I don't know about ever, like the number one, because you know I can't like make decisions like that, but he's in my top, and it is the Mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. This pin is definitely one of my favorites that I own. It is from the 25th anniversary. I swear when they came out with NBC 25th anniversary pins, I just bought them all. But so I love the Mayor, but what's so cool about this pin, it actually has a little moving element. How cool is that? This next pin was actually a gift that Liz gave me when we were like still fresh dating, and it is another NBC pin. I realize there's a lot of NBC and Halloween pins in this. Shows you the kind of person I am. But this is just a really cute one. I just picked one from the lanyard set. I really like this one. It's Jack and Sally, and they're having a little date in the graveyard, as one weird couple does. And yeah, they're just living their best life. Next pin is again another like random mystery one, but I absolutely had to have it. It was the Mickey's Christmas Carol Tsum Tsums pins. I'm not really big onto Tsum Tsums, but I love Mickey's Christmas Carol, and I said I'm gonna buy 1 box, and whatever I get. But I really wanted to get the Ghost of Christmas Present, and I wanted to get Jacob Marley. And I opened it up, and I had the Ghost of Christmas Present and Jacob Marley. And I lost it. I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? So not only did I get one of them that I really wanted, but I literally got the 2 I wanted the most. I would have been fine with any of them, but those are the 2 I wanted the most, and they were both in 1 box. I was like, what? Similar story. So this same thing happened. This I actually got on my birthday last year, on my exact birthday. We got to go experience the Skyliner for the very first time. It opened on my birthday, which is really cool. I love that I can say that. We went on this hunt for these mystery pins. They were coming out with these mystery pins. They were only going to be out for like that first week of it being open. So we knew they were going to sell out quick. And we went on a huge hunt for it. Couldn't find it anywhere. And when I'm talking hunt, I don't mean like go to this little building, go to this little, no, I'm talking, we had to get on the Skyliner, we got to all over all these different hotels. It was nuts. I really wanted Pirates of the Caribbean, and I really wanted the Hitchhiking Ghosts. And I got both of them in one box. I'm telling you guys, if you want some mystery pins and you're nervous, get them on your birthday because you will always get luck. I'm telling you. This next pin, again, I know you guys have seen it, but I wanted to share it because it's super special to me. And it is my Sword in the Stone fantasy pin. Now, this is my very first fantasy pin that I've ever gotten in my life. This was in a live sale and I had already spent so much money and I was like, oh, I can't buy anymore, but man, that pin is amazing. And my friend Kat over at Perfectly Kat was in the chat and she was like, I got you, girl. And I will forever, ever remember that, with it being my first fantasy pin, but also just that someone was so sweet and just gave this to me for no reason. This next pin, there's not much of a story. I just really love this pin. It was my very first Elliot pin, and that's why I love it so much. So this is Elliot from Pete's Dragon. Not Pete, it's Elliot. People like to get that confused. But it's Elliot and I love him so much. So this pin, the only story really with it is that when Disney parks have parties, they don't set out a certain amount of merch per event. They're really bad at that. If their entire amount of pins is just constantly selling every event, sometimes by Halloween there's not even merchandise left. And I saw this pin coming out and I was like, babe, we need it. So we went, I don't know if it was the first or second night, but we did not wait long. We literally chose our event night based off of this pin. And it is the Oogie Boogie Boo to You pin. And it's super cool because you can slide it over and it reveals Black Shack and Barrel. I love this pin so much. Next pin I'm showing you, I know you've seen it before, but I just had to pick my favorite one from this mystery set. This is again from a mystery set, and it's actually one of the very first mystery sets I've ever completed. So this pin I'm showing you is the Kronk pin. I'm showing him because Kronk is everything. Let's be real. I love Kronk so much. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that. This pin we got last year, and what makes it so special is that we were planning on going to Disneyland for the very first time. We really wanted to go during Halloween just because we love Halloween, we love Disney. But they do something very special called the Oogie Boogie Bash, and it's similar to Mickey's Halloween Party, but it's kind of like 3 times better. Long story short, we waited too long, tickets were sold out, and we didn't get tickets. We talked to a cast member. They're like, oh, hey, why are you here? We're like, oh, we're celebrating 800 things. We were like, basically like, you know, this trip is so amazing. We're so looking forward to it. It just would have been better if we got Oogie Boogie passes or tickets. And they're like, we have still extras. Any hotel guests get, you know, the extras. So we got to go. It was the greatest event ever. I loved it so much. Thank God for Liz asking. And then she had to go super early, like the next day, and get it. Like, she just, again, girlfriend of the century. So I had to get a pin to represent from the event, I should say. And it is this villain's pin, and it says, it's good to be bad. And it says Oogie Boogie Bash 2019, and it has all of the cool villains and all these different colors. Speaking of my amazing girlfriend, this pin is another Halloween pin, and I absolutely love it. This pin came out on Halloween Day. I really, really wanted it. Again, I was like, it's gonna sell out. I need you to go get it, babe. And she happened to be off, and she got this pin for me. I'm again so beyond grateful. And it is this Halloween pin. And it's really cool because it's Jack, Sally, and Oogie dressed up. Or is it? You pull it down and it's actually Black Shack and Barrel. And it's just such a cool pin. I think it might glow. Yeah, it does. It glows in the dark. And again, this pin came out on Halloween Day, which makes it even more special. And we are down to our 28th memory and pin. And this one is my absolute favorite pin. And that is because it's Liz and I in a pin, basically. We saw this pin and we absolutely freaked. And it is the I Lava You pin. Now this pin is just a regular open edition pin, nothing fancy about it, nothing special about it, except for this is one of Liz and I's favorite Disney songs that we like to sing to each other. When this short came out, we both immediately fell in love with it and thought it was just the most adorable short ever. And so we just would sing it all the time to each other. So the reason why I just it matters so much to me, like I said, we were very blessed to be able to spend several birthdays and anniversaries in the parks. And I know that there's people who go a lifetime without getting to experience the magic of the parks, and we got to experience it a lot. Especially on special days like our anniversary and birthdays. I look at this pin and I just always remember the amazing opportunities that we were able to experience. I just will never forget it at all. It just makes me emotional when I think about it, just because I love her so much. And it's gonna be really hard this year not celebrating our anniversary or celebrating our birthdays in the parks. I will forever look at this pin and just remember about our amazing time together and just how special and amazing of a girlfriend that I have. All of these pins, there's so many that she's a link to. I love this pin because I love Liz. And yeah, I just will always remember my amazing life with her there. So that is it. Sorry, this is a little bit of a long video, but I really wanted to share with you guys some memories that I got to experience in my 28 years of living. I mean, the reality is this isn't even over 28 years, it's over like a 5-year span, which is incredible. So if you guys can, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite pin that I showed today or your favorite memory. You guys know I don't like picking favorites, but in this case, I will pick a favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, thank you so much for an amazing 2 years. I have learned so much and I've met so many amazing people on this journey, and I just appreciate it so much. So thank you guys so much for your support and your love. Thanks guys so much for watching, and as always, I will catch you in the next video.